Good morning, students. I hope you all have revised the chapters that have been taught, and today I will just continue the chapter of the cell. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. It is capable of independent existence. It can perform all essential functions for its survival. Most cells are microscopic. They are so small that they can only be seen under a powerful microscope. All organisms start their life as a single cell. Every cell has a lifespan. Old and worn out cells are continuously replaced by new ones. Many cells together form a tissues, and many tissues together form up an organ. Many organs together form up an organ system or organization. There is a great variation in the number, shape, and size of cells in various organisms. For example, organisms such as bacteria are made up of a single cell, whereas human beings are made up of billions and billions of cells. Some organisms which are single cell structure, they are called unicellular organisms. Amoeba, Paramecium, Chlamydomonas are all unicellular organisms. Organisms that are made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. Animals, insects, fishes, birds, human beings, plants, all are multicellular organisms. There are different types of cells that make up an organism. Human beings are made up of blood cells, skin cells, bone cells, reproductive cells, and so on. Similarly, the cells in different parts of a plant also differ greatly depending on the function. Cells can show a lot of variation in shape. Although most unicellular organisms maintain a constant shape throughout their life, some organisms such as amoeba keep on changing their shape. Multicellular organisms are made up of cells of different shapes depending on their functions. Even though most cells vary in their shape and size, their basic structure is almost similar. A cell is like a tiny container bounded by a membrane called cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is filled with a jelly-like substance called protoplasm. The protoplasm has two parts, a darker, denser part called nucleus and a semi-solid jelly-like part called cytoplasm that surrounds it. The main components of a typical cell are the cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell organelles, and inclusion. Each cell is bound by a thin, delicate, skin-like membrane called the cell membrane or plasma membrane. It allows only selective substances to pass through it. Hence, it is called a selectively permeable membrane. It is elastic in nature and enables the cell to stretch to some extent. It gives definite shape to the cell. It controls the movement of material in and out of the cell. It provides protection to the internal components of the cell from injury. Plant cell has an additional protective wall around the cell membrane called the cell wall. The cell wall is non-living. It is permeable and allows free passage of substances through it. It is made up of a complex carbohydrate called cellulose. It gives a definite shape to the plant cell and provides strength and rigidity to the cell. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. It controls all vital activities of the cell. It is usually spherical or oval in shape and surrounded by a double membrane called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane encloses a colorless dense fluid called nucleoplasm. It contains one or more spherical bodies called nucleolus. The nucleoplasm contains a network of thread-like structure called the chromatin network. When a cell divides, the chromatin network forms small thread-like structures called chromosomes. The chromosomes carry genes which are responsible for hereditary characters that are passed from the parent cell to the new cell. Cytoplasm is the semi-solid, colorless, jelly-like part enclosed within the cell membrane. Most cellular activities occur within the cytoplasm with the help of the cell organelles. It helps in the distribution of molecules and nutrients within a cell. It also helps in exchange of materials between different cells. In order to perform various activities, a cell has many small structures in the cytoplasm called cell organelles. Mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, Golgi bodies, lysosomes, centrosome, plastids, and vacuoles are some of the cell organelles. Mitochondria are the small, rod-shaped or spherical organelles found in large numbers. Each mitochondrion is bound by two membranes, an outer membrane and an inner membrane that is folded to form finger-like structures called cristae. Mitochondria are the sites of respiration in the cell. During respiration, food is oxidized in the presence of oxygen and energy is released in the form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate. Hence, mitochondria are also called the powerhouses of the cell. Endoplasmic reticulum is a network of tube-like structures found throughout the cytoplasm. Its outer surface is either smooth or rough, depending on the presence of other organelles called ribosomes on it. It gives internal support to a cell and provides a pathway for the transport of material within a cell and between cells. Ribosomes are small, round structures present either in a free state in the cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. These are not bound by any membrane. They make proteins in the cell. They are also called protein factories of the cell. Golgi bodies are made up of a stack of parallel flattened discs. In plant cells, these are smaller, unconnected, and more in number. They are also called dictyosomes. They secrete certain substances, enzymes, and help in the synthesis of the cell wall in plant cell. They help in the transportation of materials in a cell and outside it. They also processes the proteins that are produced in the ribosomes or endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are tiny sac-like organelles bound by a single membrane. They contain enzymes which help in the digestion of food within the cell. They protect the cell against various foreign bodies. Under certain conditions, lysosomes releases enzyme that digest other cell organelles. This is why they are also called the suicide bags of the cell. The centrosomes are present in animal cells only. It is a small, non-membranous organelle found very close to the nucleus in animal cells. It has two tiny granules called centrioles which help regulate cell division process. Plastids are present in plant cells only. They are special organelles that manufacture and store pigments. They are bound by a double membrane. Plastids are of three types: the chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. Chloroplastids contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. They impart green color to leaves and other plant parts where they are present. It shows two regions, grana and stroma. They are also called the kitchen of the cell as they trap solar energy to perform photosynthesis. Chromoplastids are with colored pigments other than green. They are mostly found in fruits and petals of flowers. The red, orange, or yellow color of fruits and flowers is due to the presence of chromoplasts. Leucoplastids are colorless plastids, devoid of any pigment. They store food prepared in the plant in the form of starch, proteins, and fats. They are found in the roots of plants and in underground stems such as potato and ginger. A vacuole is bound by a single membrane called tonoplast. The membrane encloses a fluid called cell sap. It contains sugar, proteins, amino acids, and minerals. In plant cells, the vacuoles are large. Some plant cells have only one large vacuole, whereas animal cells either do not have a vacuole or they have a very small vacuole, as in amoeba. The vacuoles help the cell to remain turgid and keep it in shape. They store food materials and water within the cell. Apart from these organelles, the cells contain some non-living substances either in the cytoplasm or in the vacuole. These substances are called cell inclusions. These may be food products such as starch and oil globules or waste materials such as gums, resins, latex and tannin. The basic structure of plant and animal cells is the same. However, there are some differences between them. The differences between a plant and animal cell are based on the presence and absence of cellular organelles.